my follow-up video. Next day, last night, Mac was the only one that was in this cage, and he barricaded his little burrow that I made. And he was the only one in there last night. Sassy slept in my room in a drawer. Believe it or not, she slept in a drawer. And so Mac stayed in here, but I put Sassy in here today to get her under her warm lights, which they like to do for, again, about 30 minutes to an hour, and then they want away from the excessive warmth, and they want to cool back down. So when they go into a burrow, that's usually underground, and underground it's usually 10 to 15 degrees cooler than the surface, or it could be even cooler, being out of the sun. So they go down into a burrow where it's more moist underground. I'm going to try to show you. Sassy came in and literally moved all the dirt away. And then they're both, it's too dark in there. They like it dark and, cooler. That's why they go underground, to get away from the sun. There's Sassy. Oh yeah, don't get my finger, sweetie. But they're both in there, and they love to burrow and go underground. It's their sanctuary. They get away from what I would say is mostly to get away from the heat or the environment outside. It's their own little safe space under there. As you can see, doesn't need to be a big hole. And they both go in there, and like I mentioned before, Mac will go in there for like 3 to 5 days and I won't see him. And sometimes I'm like, get a little worried, and I'm like, is he dead in there? And so I have to go and dig all that up. It makes a mess. It's not easy to do. And I pull the board back to get easy access to check on him, and he's just curled up in there as happy as can be. And I'm like, okay, I just wanted to check on you. I haven't seen you in many, many, many days. And but that's what they like to do. So I think it's a cool feature to have, as you can see, and they like tight quarters. They like to be compressed. They like to be in small spaces. But you can see there, Sassy was under there and happy until I poked my cell phone in there. And so just wanted to show you more about, an underground burrow. I mean, if I had a cage that had, 7 feet of substrate in it, and they could make their own deep burrows into the ground. And, that would be a perfect world, but I've had to kind of go around that and make that because they're indoors in my house, obviously. And, I'm not going to have means to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foot deep of substrate where they can tunnel and burrow and do that. It makes them happy. As Sassy has grown up, she has definitely become more of a burrower and a digger. And it's just a neat feature of Tegu's that, some lizards live up in trees and different lizards live in bushes and things, but Tegu's are very terrestrial and they can climb, but they like to dig down deep into the ground. And that's kind of where they like to hang out and sleep and feel safe. So that's my best attempt that I can do. And I think they're really, really appreciating it and liking it. I got the idea from Sassy digging in here and digging under her hides. And once they have an underground, feeling to a little compartment that they can go into, they don't want to sleep in their hide boxes anymore. And I've always been a big firm believer of having hide boxes and giving them that space to get away, get out of. But they really prefer the burrows to go into underground, and so they can just kind of chill out, get away from the bright light, get away from the heat, get back down underground where it's typically more moisture, and just just share this information with people. It's just always a learning experience, and that's what I do with my tegus. It's just a big learning experience, and I try to provide the best I can for them, and that comes through observation and studying and seeing what happens in the wild, or in nature. That's what they prefer, is what is in nature. All right, thanks for viewing. Have a great day. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.